I came to URI's Summer Institute in Digital Literacy knowing I was going to get a deeper understanding of how literacy is changing with the development of new technologies. What I didn't know was how over the course of the week I would come to question if my past teaching practices were serving the needs of my students, consider whether our students are given enough opportunities to ask questions and explore their answers, and wonder if we are truly helping our students become socially responsible authors and citizens. As you can imagine, the answer to all of my wonderings is no. The big question becomes, how can these be turned to a yes? This institute demonstrated ways to become and charged me with the responsibility of being the agent of change to my students and colleagues. The first of the learning outcomes stated for the institute: gain knowledge that enables reflective thinking on how literacy is changing as a result of media and technology, became for me one of the strongest takeaways of the week. On Tuesday, during Dr. Hobbs' keynote on digital authorship, she included a video created by Nathan Zed of the Third Pew. This articulate young man's video stirred deep-rooted past memories within me that actually brought me to tears. His words and images about Tamir Rice caused me to reflect on the loss of one of my own 12-year-old students in 2002, Michael Ellerby. Michael, like Tamir, was shot and killed by police in an incident where police believed he had had a gun. He was shot in the back as he ran away and was found to be unarmed. Like Nathan, I ask, how are you supposed to take his childhood? How was it possible for the officers involved to not be criminally charged? What if social media platforms like Twitter had existed in 2002? Would Michael's name be included alongside those of Michael Brown and Tamir Rice? A difficult question came to me by my dyad partner Jane Cubbage, who asked, how did your students process this? This truly made me reflect on the way in which I supported my students' grieving process and the need they had to show that Michael's life mattered. By our administration, we were directed to not dwell on this discussion and to send those students who were having a particularly hard time to the guidance counselor. Shame on us. It was 2002, and even though internet-based social media platforms were in their infancy, there were other means we could have used, such as newspaper editorials. I now ask myself, what more could I have done, as Nathan Zed said, to boost the voices of other people who don't have as big a platform so they'll also be heard? During the coroner's inquest, there were community rallies and demonstrations in support of justice for Michael. Some of my students participated carrying signs and banners. They were seeking a platform and trying to make a difference. As a school and personally, as their teacher, I squandered the opportunity to allow school to reflect real life. Said most beautifully by Chris Lehman, it isn't that we expect students to solve problems adults cannot. This isn't about overestimating the ability of children. It is about understanding that there are plenty of challenges that are hyperlocal and youth-oriented, where they can make a difference, either on their own or side by side with adults. And it is about understanding that we should not squander the energy and ideas of our young people by telling them that their ideas will matter beyond the classroom walls someday. Thinking like Nathan Zed, was it selfish of them to want to make Michael's life matter? Through my course reading, I now came to realize, as an agent of change, I need to better assist my teachers and students to take social action by working individually and collaboratively to share knowledge and solve problems in the family, workplace, and community, and by participating as a member of a community. Thinking back to Monday's keynote by Dr. Poirot brings me to a second profound takeaway that certainly is related to my first. Had I known and understood the strategy of personal inquiry at the time of Michael's death, I would have been able to help guide and help frame my students' questions as they wondered. Why did this happen to him? Who decides if the police are wrong? What can we do to make sure this doesn't happen to us? I could have connected their learning in ways that mattered. Best said by Dr. Poirot, learners grow and change with opportunities to identify problems in their community, generate personal wonderings, and engage in collaborative dialogue around these problems, and apply their new knowledge by acting out solutions in ways that transform thinking. Dialogue about the incident within the school was certainly muted. Conversation outside in the community often became heated and thus was counterproductive. Imagine if school and community could have come together for a more deliberate dialogue with the understanding conflict and disagreement is almost certain, but productive groups can bring forth new understanding of the limits of tolerance. As a teacher and school leader, it's my responsibility to assist with our students, staff, and community, as London says, to help distill the essence of a problem, after all, is a step towards taking action to resolve it. I must make sure their voices are not silenced. This brings me to my third takeaway. In our students' current world, where their voice can be heard globally with one quick tweet or video upload, we must include social responsibility into our conversations about being digitally literate. The inclusion of Dr. Hobbs' digital and media literacy competencies must be at the forefront of the conversation. Digital authorship is a form of social power. Digital authors enter into conversations with others in the culture when they choose to share their creative work. Taken from Dr. Hobbs' presentation. Had our school allowed students to respectfully speak up and author creative works that displayed their thoughts about the injustice they felt Michael had received, perhaps they could have made a difference. What an amazing real-life authorship experience was missed for our students. We can't get that back, but I can be the change agent who ensures that moving forward, our students choose to explore issues of social responsibility and, quoting Dr. Hobbs, create works that provoke new ways of seeing, thinking, and feeling. It may seem a daunting task to be charged as the agent of change that personally reflects and helps others to also reflect on past teaching practice in order that we can ensure our students are given opportunities to inquire about their own learning. Then, assist students in these inquiries and developing their answers and solutions, all while they demonstrate their social responsibility in the ways they choose to share their answers. It is indeed a big task. The Institute has certainly given me the tools and confidence to embark on this task. I'm sure it won't be easy, and if I begin to feel overwhelmed, I'll think back to Nathan Zed, who said it most beautifully, "Don't lose hope. For the sake of our future generations, just don't lose hope."